Well, if I can get around to doing these last remaining doors I have, and then I actually have more doors to do behind this. So I got a lot of extra staining to do. But if you remember from the last time I did staining on these doors, they had all these water spots on them. So to try and prevent that this time, what I've done is went ahead and sanded them down with 220 and then with 400, and then put a coat of pre-stain on there and see if that changes our end result. Well, besides being a little bit lightheaded from all the pre-stain, got all the doors done. And then of course the back side of that door I didn't do because it goes to a closet. I thought I had the correct doors, but it turns out I have 3 left hands and 1 right hand, and then the smaller door I was supposed to have 2 left hands and 2 right hands. So luckily it'll work out okay because I didn't buy the closet ones yet, so I can just put the left hand one in one of the closets. And I've still got to go back and get, I think I count up 10 more doors for all the closets that are in the bedrooms and everything. So I got a ways to go still before I'm done staining. But I'll let these dry overnight. We'll hit them with some stain in the morning. It's supposed to be raining the next 2 days, so it'll be a good time to be working inside. And hopefully it'll turn out all right. I'm just not sure that the pre-stain is going to do anything. We did it on some of the trim work in the living room and didn't see any difference at all trying to make it work. But hopefully we get rid of those spots anyways. Well, it's actually been 2 days since I was working on these doors, and it is raining cats and dogs outside, and it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow and all day today, all day tomorrow, and a little bit of the next day. It's just starting to downpour again. I'm really thinking we should add a 3rd tank to our rainwater collection system, because here in about a month we're going to get no rain. So we're going to go ahead and get our stain on here and see if I got rid of that spotting issue. Again, I can't see any spots anywhere, but I couldn't see them last time and when I did the stain, and all of a sudden they showed up. So hopefully by sanding them down, I did the 220 grit, then I did the 400 grit. I did the 220 to get a little bit more aggressive into the wood, and then I did the 400 to make sure I didn't get any swirls from using the 220. Sometimes when you use a palm sander, it'll create a bunch of little swirls in there. So the 400 should have gotten rid of any of those swirls that may have popped up. And you can't see those until you stain it either. So either this is going to turn out great, or I'm going to have swirls and I'm going to have spots. So I know what we're going to run into. I will know shortly. I'm going to get all 5 of these doors stained, and then I'll let them sit over tonight. And if it continues to be the monsoon outside tomorrow like it is today, then I will go ahead and get polyurethane on these doors then. Well, the spots are back. All the other doors really turned out pretty much just like the first batch that I did, and get the other side stained. And then these 5 doors will be done, and I can wait overnight and start putting poly on them tomorrow. So we're hanging a few more doors, and I ran into a couple problems. The frames, we took the doors off the frames, stained the frames, and then put the doors back on, and they're not going back on like they were. Some of the stops, the door stops, had come off or come loose, and Barry had tacked them back in place. And I don't think they got back in exactly where they were supposed to be because the doors won't close now because the door is hitting the stop. So I can't really take the stops off and then tack them back on, a little bit off-centered or push them over a little bit, because then the stain's not going to be there, the polyurethane's not going to be there. You're just going to see a line of bare wood. So what I'm going to do is I've got a router jig. This is for cutting out your places where your hinges go. I don't know, I've had this for a ridiculously long time, probably 16, 17 years. Anyways, so I'm going to set this up on here. This creates a way for the router to go around and route out a new section in this door, a new hinge for this door. So what I'm going to do is set this back probably only about 1/8 of an inch, and then they'll fit fine. I had to do this in one other door already, and it worked out pretty good. I just got to get back enough to where the screws, when I screw them in, they're going into new wood and they don't slip over into the old screw holes. Okay, I'm going to work on the pocket door for the master bedroom, between the master bedroom and master bath area. And the first thing I've got to do is to put on the brackets here that hooks into the track. So these are supposed to be placed 2 3/4 off the edge here to the first screw. So there'll be one there, and there'll be one down about there. And I've also got to put this bumper on. This bumper goes 40 inches on the back side of the door. So if you remember back, we had the spotting issue. So you can kind of see some of all these spots in here. So this is going to be the back side of the door. This will face into the bathroom area. And also here's like a glue, something where they tried to fill a knot or something like that in the door when they manufactured it. There's another small one there. So I'm going to make this the back side of the door. So this will face into the bathroom area, and then the other side's pretty good. All of our speckling dotting, which I'm pretty sure is from rain, ended up on the only one side of the door. So this will go 40 inches up and then just centered in the door. Put my top brackets on, then I'll be able to go up and hang this. Okay, got the door hung, it looks good. The next thing I need to do is run my frame trim. I'm going to run it from the ground all the way to the very top on both sides, and then I'll run the center piece across. Reason being that if you ever have to change your door out, you're going to have to pop this piece down to get to those latches. So that's why your outside pieces go clear up to the very top. These are held in by screws. Unscrew them, pop the hinges, take the door out if you need to. So I'll measure this, and then I'm going to have to rip it down to the wall width. And then I'll have to measure this side and cut 2 short strips, rip those down, and then I can rip the top down. Got my pieces ripped down and cut here. I went ahead and stained the cut edge and just got a coat of poly on it. The piece I'm working on now is actually the center piece. This was a 1x6, 16 foot long. So by the time I cut everything down, I got an 81-inch piece, another 81-inch piece that I ripped down into 3 inch and 3/8 pieces. So this is my side around the my 81-inch piece. Goes up around the height of the door. This one's going to be the width of the door that runs along the top. So I'm just doing a quick sanding with 220 on both sides. And then I'm also going along the edge here. So when you look at a piece of wood that you buy, I don't know if you can see that, but this is rounded just a little bit. And the reason why is so you don't get chips. It won't, you won't bump it and it'll chip a big chunk off of it. So I'm going through now is just taking the sandpaper along the edge here and softening it down. So if you can see that I've already softened along there, and this side I have not. Then I'll stain it, hit 2 coats of poly on it, and then get these pieces put up. This extra piece I'll have to cut down, but I can't do that until I know what my width is, which I won't know until I get those pieces on. Another nice thing about cutting all those from the exact same piece of trim is that the stain will match all the way across. A lot of times you'll stain one board, go to the next board, and you don't quite get those exactly the same. So by taking that 1x6x16 and cutting all my pieces out of that, the stain is consistent across the board. And you shouldn't have one piece that's lighter or darker. Okay, got the door all done now, and it turned out pretty good. It still has that that offset there, that kind of warped board, but everything actually fits together pretty darn nice. Good even on both sides and all the way down. So I'm pretty pleased. Turned out pretty good.